Let's fire up the drop-o-meter and find some players to add next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Wednesday, September 15th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White. And let's do it, Scott. The drop-o-meter. If you are a 10 on this list, you can be dropped. 1, you probably want to hold on to that guy. Yu Darvish got clobbered again on Monday. He allowed 8 earned runs, including 4 home runs against the San Francisco Giants. And it looks like after this week, his final 2 starts are against the Braves and at the Dodgers. Drop-o-meter on Darvish.
Well, I really wouldn't want to drop him because it's likely he could burn you with another team if you did drop him. Now, whether you can trust him enough to start him is another matter. And it's been a pretty rough stretch for him recently. Now, his start before this one was good. It's worth pointing out. He has had a few good starts scattered in amidst the bad ones. And I do wonder if his second start this week at St. Louis goes well, if we'll rethink the decision whether or not to use him for the final 2 weeks. But those matchups, the Braves and the Dodgers, aren't good. And he's proven himself to be pretty untrustworthy of late. So I don't know that I'd be relying on him at the most important time.
So where would you put him on the drop-o-meter?
Come on. 4.
All right. Zac Gallen gave us another clunker, and it looks like his final 3 starts are against the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Giants. He's still 84% rostered.
Yeah, so he'd probably be like a 7. The Diamondbacks are among the teams with the worst matchups for pitchers remaining. And I'm still skeptical of the way Gallen's performed even when he's been good. He hasn't looked as overpowering as he did in the past, as he did before having that elbow issue earlier this season. So I don't have a lot of trust in starting him again. So yeah, he's pretty high on the drop-o-meter.
Kyle Gibson, last one here. His last 11 starts, he has a 5.60 ERA. He faces the Mets later this week, so if you've already started him, he's locked in. He faces the Pirates next week. That's a good matchup. And then he's at the Braves, his final start of the season. Still 94% rostered is Kyle Gibson.
Yeah. He's been pretty shaky of late. I'll give you that. But the remaining matchups for the Phillies are good for the pitchers specifically. We don't know exactly where his turns are going to line up, of course, but I wouldn't want to drop him. I'd put him probably about a 3 on the drop-o-meter.
All right, well, instead, let's talk about some pitchers we might want to add. Tony Gonsolin looked really good on Tuesday. 5 shutout with 6 strikeouts against the Diamondbacks. He's 51% rostered. Looks like he has 2 starts at the Rockies, at the Diamondbacks next week. Logan Gilbert, 6 innings, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts against the Red Sox on Monday. It looks like he is at the Angels next week. That is a good matchup right now. And then Erick Fedde put up a really good start against the Marlins, and it looks like he's in line for 2 starts next week at the Marlins and at the Reds. So one good one not so good one. How would you rank those 3, Scott? Gonsolin, Gilbert, Fedde.
Probably go Gilbert number 1. He has the most talent of the group, and of those with talent, you could trust him to go 6 innings if he's pitching well. That's not true for Gonsolin, who managed to make it 5 innings in this most recent start, but needed only 67 pitches to do it. I don't know what pitch count he's going to be allowed to work up to after, recently coming back from the IL, but he does look the best he has all season since coming back from this second lengthy injury absence. The velocity's up, particularly on the slider. That's looking more effective. So Gonsolin would be second on the list behind Gilbert, and Erick Fedde third. Don't have a lot of trust in Fedde, but he has been leading with his curveball lately, been making that the most thrown pitch, and he has seen his swinging strikes go up as a result. So I'm monitoring that to close out the season, but really not ready to trust in Fedde.
All right, Scott, I think it's time to add these hitters if they're available because of their remaining schedules, at least for next week. I know the Rockies, 3 of their final 4 series are in Coors Field, so obviously that's very enticing for us. Brendan Rodgers is only 56% rostered. He hit another home run on Tuesday. Garrett Hampson has put together 2 really big games in a row. He's only 37% rostered for the Rockies. And then the other team that I have, Scott, is the Rangers. It looks like They have 7 games next week at the Yankees, at the Orioles. Those are 2 great hitter venues to play in. Nate Lowe, Nathaniel Lowe is someone who stands out there. Maybe Nick Solak in a deeper league. What do you think about the Rockies and Rangers?
Yeah, the Rockies have more interesting pickups, I would say, with Brendan Rodgers, who you mentioned. Also, Elias Diaz, if you need a hitter. Maybe Raimel Tapia. I'm not sure Garrett Hampson's the playing time is going to be consistent enough to use him. And since May, I think he only has 7 stolen bases. So the thing he's best at hasn't even really been doing a lot of that. For the Rangers, it's pretty low end, the kind of hitters we're talking about. Solak is interesting enough, I guess. Adolis Garcia, who's been slumping most of the second half, you might be tempted to bench him. He did just have a big game on Tuesday, so we'll see how he closes out this week. But if he closes out well and the matchups are strong, you'll want to stick with Garcia.
For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again on Friday morning. Bye-bye.